Let's talk about why you keep going bust when playing Bannerlords. What causes all that debt to mount up? Why can't you keep your gold in positive figures? Because we all suffer from it. I suffer from it. I know you guys do. Plenty of people who make these videos do as well. I mean, at one point I conquered all of this area here and ended up with 30,000 in debt. And there's nothing I could do about it because I was under heavy attack. I couldn't afford to reduce the garrison numbers at all. So the garrison numbers had to be kept high. That amounted to a lot of debt right there. My army needed to be high to beat off all the attackers. So I had no choice but to maintain 30,000. That means I had to go on the attack. But the more on the attack I went, the more enemies I made and the more people attacked me back until eventually I was at war with most of the map and lost. So the reason why people go into debt is down to garrison wages and is down to party wages. It's too high right now in the current game. So what can we do about it? Well, first of all, you've got the obvious ones. You've got fiefs, which you own. But the trick there is to keep the parties. That's when you click on the party there, you click on garrison, you set the wage limit low enough so whatever the income of that town or fort is, it's going to be in profit compared to the wages it's giving out. So you go to parties, you go down the list of parties here and you limit the wage to below what you're getting in tax. Now it's going to be pathetic. As you can see, 112 isn't enough to actually protect. Well, with the bows it's more than that, but it's not enough to protect that particular town. It needs to be 250, 300, but it's not. Right, so that's part of the problem. Then we can do the same with any parties we've got here. You see, we can limit the wage here, so it doesn't cost us that much. Now, these three will give me over 300 troops and will cost me 1,500. My own, well, more than that, my own army, though, cost me 2,235, which is a lot. And that's partly down to the training of the troops. Some of my troops are quite high level, so that's where the cost comes in. But I wouldn't want to have a low-level army because I'll probably lose. So limiting the wages is one way to go. The other way to go is to promote some of your companions into full clans. Now what I've done is I've conquered this area, you know, these castles here and a castle down here. And I've taken a couple of my clan members, these ones here, and I've just talked to them like that. I'm yours. Now I could go reward for your services and then I can give them a fief if I've got enough resources. Now if I click on that, right, I can't show you, but it's quite expensive to do, but you need a high influence and 20,000 gold. But then you can make them a clan, you know, they can give them a castle or something like that, and then they'll go off and they'll run that castle for you. Suddenly that castle's debt isn't part of your debt, its wages aren't part of your debt either. So that AI effectively takes charge of that castle and removes the debt from your gold reserves and gives it to the AI. So the AI is now handling that for you. They then run off and they promote their relatives into various positions. So one army becomes 2, becomes 3, becomes 4. So you end up with quite a lot of armies. Instead of just having one companion's party, you end up with more than one. Like this guy up here, who I gave that to, the Blood Axe Clan. That was the name of the guy I gave it to. He's already got one of his relatives running around with a small army helping him out. I don't know about this one down here, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the same as well. So we've offset the cost of these two by giving them to clan members, or rather to companions. You just pick a companion that's really good at something, give them the castle. Then it reduces your cost here. It also, if you notice, the cost of those two castles are no longer displayed in the list of expenses. You can see it's not there at all anymore. What you've got instead is income from a workshop, income from a caravan, tariffs from my own town, and the income directly from that. Plus, you've got all my parties here. as you can see. I'm still paying 1,500 for those parties led by my companions. So how can I sort that out? How can I reduce that a little bit further? Well, first thing we can do is we can just disband these units. So if we go to there, disband, okay, go to there, disband, because we're at peace right now. Standing armies were a fairly modern thing in relative terms. In medieval times there wasn't a standing army as such. So now these are all at this castle, and they'll take a while to disband, but once they're disbanded that will be closer to 0. So let's just let the clock go a little bit. We can see these armies slowly disbanding and getting smaller. We can recall them to our party and we'll start reusing them. Now don't forget though, these are skilled warriors in their own right, so we could assign these other jobs, like managing towns, and for instance. See, this guy right here, he had a massive army that's costing me quite a bit of money. But this is only a small kingdom at the moment, but we're trying to balance our books, and what better way to do that than with a small army or small kingdom. Seem to have disappeared, so let's just see if they're available now. There we go. Recall him, yes. Recall him, yes. There we go, there's your one. Recall her. Anyway, there we go, right? Now if we look at this now, the price of the wages are going down, and it should continue to go down. See, it's gone down a bit more. You also notice as well, party expense of the garrison of Tyrell has gone up to 1,144. But if we go there, I'll go here, look at parties, go down to the garrison, you see it's actually set at a limit of 701. So something's going on there to make them spend more than they're allowed to spend, unless it's this. But we wanted auto recruitment turned on, so it'll probably fluctuate as the AI compensates. But that means it'll drop down in a minute, and it has, look. So now we've managed to half our debt by making a few simple changes. But if you look on the map, we've still got a couple of armies running around. This army here, for instance, that's one of the guys I made into a full clan. He's in charge of this castle here. He's already got the garrison forces up higher than I had it, so he's done a good job there. If we run round to the other side and we check over here, the same thing again. He's got his army up higher than we had it, and he's doing quite well. Anyhow, we've got a caravan out there and a few other things. So let's now just go and create another caravan if we can, just to get things going. Now let's have a look. Okay. Now we want. Do the tracker, because I'll be using him during wars to track. I'll click on that, talk, form a caravan, better troops, and do that one. It's a good way of training them up. Now we've got 4 caravans running, so we can get 2 more companions. Now caravans, we've got 4, I think that might be our limit. But it means we've got a chance now of balancing the books here, as you can see. In fact, we have balanced the books. We're already in positive figures. Now, building the parties with our companions proved to be the expensive option. Now, I'm not saying that's going to stay in the positive figures, because it'll probably bounce around a bit. But as you can see, both my caravans there are getting 500 gold each right now. And one of them's getting 1,600, so everything's improving. And we're at peace with everybody, so we could keep this going now, have a nice little peaceful kingdom, and stay in the red, well, in the black, should I say. But ultimately, is this kingdom, we'd want to take this castle here and that castle there, just to secure the area we're in. So the first time he declares war, that's what our targets will be. Maybe that one too. But right now we've got a stable kingdom with more money coming in than we did have, and there you go. The secret to being in profit is not to use companions as armies for too long. Use them at first to establish your kingdom and then start promoting them into full-blown clans. Then the clans will breed, they'll have kids, the kids will become members of the clan with their own armies, and your nation will grow, and the castles you give to them will be their problem, not yours. The armies they have that serve you will be their problem, not yours. Meanwhile, you get more armies serving you, less companions in armies, your wage bill drops and your profits go up. See you in the next one.